When the game first starts, this is basically what you're going to see. Your overseer is going to be selected, and you're going to see these little circles around various spots on the map. And you're going to see the build list and the orders menu. The part at the top is the orders menu. This part is the build menu. Your resources are shown across the top. You have metal, which is used to build structures and units. Energy, which is used for utility purposes like ammunition and for upgrading and for shields powering. And supply, which is what you need to increase your army size. Okay, so basically the first thing you want to do is get an economy going. So basically you can select a metal extractor and try to make 3 of them at the start. It gives you a good base for what you can do, what you can build later on, because you need some income. You have a little bit of inherent income, but it's not very much. Once you do this, it's generally a good idea to build a lifter, which the only other way to create a unit another unit that builds structures and things like that is to do it via a lifter. Now, lifters can be built from any engineer, most notably the overseer, also called the commander sometimes. And if you select the lifter, you will notice that it has the same build list as the overseer. So while the overseer has benefits, the lifter can do pretty much most of the same things. So once you do this, there's a few key things that you need. If you want to send units out to go do battle, you're going to need energy production, because when your units fire their weapons, they use energy to do so. So let's show an example. Okay. Alright, so we have one of these guys here, and let's have him shoot. So see, our energy is going down. So once this energy hits 0, we can't fire. So these guys are mobile paperweights. Okay, so in order to combat this, we need to build generators. Now, the thing is, you have to make sure that you have the economy to be able to build all this stuff. You need a lot of stuff, and you need it in a short period of time. So what we can do is, since we have a full metal bar, we can go ahead and build, one of these basic generators. And that will give us plus 10 energy income. But generally, if you're being as efficient as possible with your building, you won't have enough metal to really put this. And the thing is, you don't want to get stuck stalling when you're building something, because that will just make everything take a lot longer. So what you can do is, after you build this initial lifter, there's a button on the orders menu called Area Mechs. And what you can do is you can click it, then you left click and drag a circle, and within that circle it will automatically queue metal extractors for you. So I'll start the circle here. I'm pressing shift, I'm going to click, left click and drag, and I'm dragging a big circle. Okay, and see, once I let go, it queues all those for me. So that's a pretty efficient way to do it. And then also, as an added bonus, if I don't have any other thing for this lifter to do, I can actually put him on repeat. And then anytime one of these metal extractors gets destroyed, it'll go back and rebuild it. So that can be pretty neat way to do it. Okay, so the other thing you're going to need is supply. Notice these guys only use one supply. And it also shows, like, when you mouse over here, uses 1 supply, uses 3 supply, uses 5 supply. Okay, so basically, at this point, if I were to build a bunch of these, I can have 10 of them. And so that's all fine and good, but, that's only going to last so long. Plus, keep in mind that our metal and energy bar only has 100 right now, which, if you're new to the game, that might seem like a lot. It's not. It's essentially nothing. Because, like, for example, with these, I'll wait till I have all 10 of them. With these raiders, these snakes. Okay, and here's number 10 off the assembly line. Okay, so let's see how long they can fire with me having 100 energy. So basically, about 1 second, half a second or so. So anyway, essentially what we need to do is we need to make sure that we have energy generation, and we need to make sure we have supply so that we can build more units. But supply has another benefit to it, and that is that it increases your energy and metal storage by 25. So if I build one, then basically once this is built, the total storage available of energy and metal is going to go up to 125. And supply is going to raise by 10. So I can build 10 more snakes, and so on and so forth. So basically, if you have this metal bar full right here, that's bad. You want to try to excess on metal as little as possible. So how do we use it all? Okay, well, the easiest way is to build orbs. Orbs are little, they're field medics and construction assistants. So let's actually build several of them. And by the way, in case you don't know, press and hold shift in order to queue up units. So like if I click this and press and hold shift, click, it adds it to the queue. Okay? So what these guys do, they don't have a build menu, but they can assist any other construction. And then also you see these little pluses going up, they're healing things that aren't at full health for a little bit each second. Okay. And so then the healing does stack. So you see its health goes up by a lot each time. Okay, so now when I want to build something, I have all these little builder guys helping me. So let's go ahead and build another energy production. So notice the time. Normally it would take about 45 seconds for him to build it on his own. Now it's taking like 10. And we're still not even using all the metal income I have. Because, see, this guy has been busy this whole time. He's gone around. Okay. All right. So, you know what? Let's build another one, because why not? And see, there we go. About 13 seconds in order to build that. And we still have plenty of there. So, let's go over upgrades. Upgrading is super important in this game. You constantly have to stay on top of your upgrades. So, the first thing we're going to need is a tech facility. When we first start the game, we're on Tech 0. And Tech 0 gives you the bare minimum amount of things. The amphibious factory is different in the fact that you actually get your riot tank at Tech 0. But most factories, like, for example, here, let's use the HBot one. Yeah. For example, the HBot factory, I mean, you have one unit available to you right now. And you also can't access any of these other things, the advanced energy, radar domes, cloaking and jamming, shields, defenses. I mean, you need tech in order to access these things. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a tech facility. And this will give us, you see at the bottom, whoops, I don't have it selected. See at the bottom left there, provides Tech 0 and Tech 1. Okay. So, now we have Tech 1. Now, see, we have another unit we can build. Same here, another unit we can build. All right. And there's another little aspect to this. Now we can start upgrading units. Notice that on various units, you have an upgrade button. Factories can upgrade. Your overseer can upgrade. Metal extractors can upgrade. A lot of units have upgrade paths. And also, the tech facility itself, the way that you get to Tech 2 and Tech 3 is via upgrading directly via the thing. So what happens when we upgrade these is that they get a 50% health bonus. They get 2 times build speed, 2 times healing rate, larger build range, and larger heal range. Okay, so if we want to upgrade one, hit upgrade. Okay, notice that this takes 10 energy per second for the entire time while it's upgrading. This is really important because you don't want to upgrade more. You don't want to have more upgrading than energy you can use. Also, remember, your army still needs to be able to fight. And so, if you don't have any metal, or I'm sorry, if you don't have any energy, your unit won't upgrade and your army won't fight. What it does is it essentially splits whatever's coming in among all the things that need it, but it slows everything down immensely. Okay, so now we have Mark II. Alright, so if you notice, he's got larger build range, larger healing radius, as opposed to this guy. So it does end up being a pretty significant difference. Here we got them side by side. And notice there's even more upgrade paths, but this upgrade needs Tech 2. Okay, so another important thing regarding economy. So even at Tech 1, you still don't have access to the advanced energy generator, all right? So you're still using basics at this point. Well, all of these are still expensive. I mean, we have a lot of metal, but we're not getting attacked, and we're not having to worry about any of this stuff. So basically what we want to do is, as soon as we have Tech 1, we want to start upgrading our metal extractors, because that will increase, it doubles the extraction rate. So if we hit F4 to bring up our resource, then you'll see that all of these give 0.7 metal. So basically this will give 1.4 once we have it upgraded. And so once again, watch out with your upgrades. So now I have 30 income, and if I'm not getting attacked, then I can upgrade multiples at the same time. But here's the problem. If I get attacked and I'm not building more energy, then that's all I've got. So basically it's a continual balance between upgrading your economy structures, improving your economy, like building more energy generation. You need tons of energy generation in this game. And also increasing your army supply. So it may sound pretty difficult, but it's actually pretty simple. It does take probably a couple games for you to kind of get into the swing and understand, you know, what buildings you need when. And understand that one of the reasons this game is called Evolution RTS is that it's updated continually. And also, the game design itself will change over time. We'll find things that we like better, things that make the gameplay more fun. Like this upgrade stuff is really recent. So before, the game functioned completely differently to this. I mean, it's still basically the same game, but you know, it constantly changes, and so it's kind of neat. The meta is continually evolving, and once again, that's the reason for the name being Evolution RTS. So basically, I hope you found this helpful. Just remember to keep your upgrades going. You can, and also pay attention to the orders menu, especially the Overseer. I didn't mention this as far as the upgrades. The Overseer from Tech 0 can morph into any one of these forms. So he can also morph back into the basic and switch over to one of these. So like, for example, let's say you don't really have the opportunity to get any units out or anything like that. You can actually morph him, oops, wrong one, morph him to a Battle Overseer, which it decreases the fire rate and radius of his EMP. This is just his built-in weapon. It's basically so he can freeze things. You can use it offensively, you can use it defensively, but it gives him a chance to run away. Okay, so now he's a Battle Overseer, all right? And you'll see he gets a turret on the back. So now, not only does he have his EMP, he also has a pretty powerful turret. And if you notice, he also gets this icon, which means that he is armored. So it's a lot harder for light units to take him down, and basically they get a damage penalty versus him. And so you can use him to guard your base pretty good. But on the other hand, keep in mind that you can also always switch him back to a basic overseer and then switch him to one of the other forms. The factory overseer will allow you to build your raider units anywhere on the map just from the commander, same way you build buildings. So it can be really useful because you can put this guy all the way over here when your opponent knows your factory's over here, and all of a sudden your opponent has units coming from this side of the map, and yeah, what the hell's going on? Cloaking overseer, shield overseers. Cloaking overseer is pretty cool because basically he gets a really large cloaking radius, and he cloaks himself and everything underneath that radius. Now the difference is that basically once enemy units get close enough to something that is cloaked, it will get decloaked. So you know, enemy units won't be bumping up right next to it. But also, I should mention, he also gets radar jamming too, so within the cloak. So basically, see as he moves around, and it's still growing, still growing. And basically, that red ring right there, that's his cloaking radius. So it's pretty big. So you can do a pretty good job of hiding your army and units and stuff like that. But basically, this is just to give you kind of an idea of how to play the game. There's a whole lot more to it. There's a lot more strategy to it. Gets a lot more in depth. Be sure to join us on Discord, and we'll be happy to play games with you. That's the way we set up a lot of our games or whatever. We have impromptu get-togethers sometime where a whole bunch of us get together, play team games or FFAs and stuff. And also, it's where we discuss a lot of strategy of the game, design of the game, potential changes, potential additions. So check it out. It's pretty cool. And thanks for hanging out.